Business News next with Ari Rabinovitch. Hello, Ari. What do you think about time change? I can't stand it when the clocks go back.
I was just talking to our producer, but in between shots, like, why haven't we done this yet since we all agree on it?
I know.
It's so frustrating.
Definitely. All right, let's get down to biz. Another tech giant has released its latest earnings report. What are we learning about Microsoft today?
The money keeps rolling in, Cynthia, and Microsoft is the world's third most valuable company, so this should be good for its top and bottom line heading forward. The latest quarterly results from Microsoft did beat the average analyst estimate, including for sales and profits being better than expected overall. Now, Microsoft is a name behind so many different things that we see and use every day, including Windows on PC computers, as well as Microsoft Office, like Microsoft Word, Excel, even Microsoft Outlook, and there's the Xbox gaming, but there's something that not a lot of people know about. It's called Azure, and that's its cloud computing segment, and that is actually its strongest growth area right now for revenue. It was up more than 30% last quarter in sales, and that's one of its main areas that Microsoft is investing its artificial intelligence in. And for investors, that's really what they want to see from technology companies, is the path forward for this artificial intelligence boom. So it looks like Microsoft is checking the boxes for investors right now, Cynthia.
Okay, let's switch to Coffee King Starbucks. It's sure not afraid to change things up. What do they have brewing now?
Okay, I see what you did there. So Starbucks is going to be taking those olive oil drinks off the menu. I think they're called Oliodo. Those will be off the menu November 7th, which coincides with when the company switches to its holiday drink menu. And Starbucks is also reportedly moving towards a more simplified menu to make baristas' jobs easier and speed up service. We'll see what that actually looks like in the coming months. But here's one of the biggest changes coming to Starbucks as of next week. Starbucks says that locations in the U.S. and Canada will stop charging extra for non-dairy alternatives like almond and oat milk in its drinks. And the company says that those customers who used to have to pay extra could see their average order fall by as much as 10%. Last quarter, Starbucks reported an earnings miss, including for revenue, with same-store sales down 7% globally, including a 14% drop in China, Cynthia. So these are all likely strategies for Starbucks to boost back customer demand.
Okay, finally, U.S. election watchers have their eyes glued daily to the polls. And they really are the only somewhat trustworthy barometer, but you certainly can't say that about some of the gambling sites.
Absolutely. So when we pay attention to the campaign, we always hear that the polls are neck and neck. It's almost a toss-up whether it's going to be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris winning the election next week. But when we look to betting odds, so you can actually bet on who wins the election. This is one of the main websites known as Polymarket. It has Donald Trump projected to win by a margin of almost 67%, which is staggering. It's practically a shoo-in at this point. So what do they know that we don't? Well, there's some news coming in from a few research firms, notably those that are connected to cryptocurrencies. So they follow the type of patterns from some of these people who are betting on the election, and they note that about a third of the election bets on Polymarket are fraudulent. And it's a term known as trade washing, where traders will try to manipulate how it looks by buying a bet or a stock, for instance, and then selling it immediately. So that boosts up the odds. And those betting markets, again, are currently predicting a Trump victory. It's hard to say who's doing these bets, but it certainly now means that these sorts of indicators of what the election outcome will be can't necessarily be trusted.
Who knows at this point? If somebody asked me to bet, I'd say, I don't know. It seems too close to call.